Alright, in this video I want to show how I put on my inside corners, the internal inside corners, and how I do them with a compound tube. So there's many ways you can put on the inside corners. You can use a bazooka, you can use a super taper, a banjo, you can put them on by hand, you could use a tube, and a full number of other ways you could do it. One of my favorite ways is putting them on with the tube and just reeling them on by hand, reeling the tapes on by hand. And I'm going to show you how I do that. So here's the tools that I use. And in case you're wondering, no, my tools are almost never this clean. Okay, so I use, for this I'm going to be using the 4-wheel roller, the corner applicator for the tube, and I'm using a 2.5-inch Anglehead, and the alternative to the Anglehead is the flusher head. And I'm going to make some videos comparing the two for applying tapes. And if you're watching this in the future, then I probably already have those videos up. And these cost about four to 5 times as much as a flusher head or a glazer. You get what you pay for because they do a finer job. They feather the edges out and do a sharper corner. That said, there's nothing wrong with the flusher head. It works fine. This makes a slightly better job, and I'll show you why that is. Okay, so let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is grab my roller, and it just fits on like that. Then grab the Anglehead, that'll go on there, and this specific one, it hooks on, so push that down, put it on, let go, now it won't come off. So that helps so that it doesn't just accidentally drop off, and it's especially important if you're working over a tub or something like that. You don't want that to fall onto a tub, because that'll chip it. And this goes on to there. Okay, so for the way that I'm putting tapes on, this is kind of the consistency that you want your mud. It's going to be quite liquidy, quite thin. So grab your tube, put that in, fill it up, and just put it on like that. Oh, didn't quite get enough there. And we'll do a couple. Next, you want to grab your tape, and you just want to reel it out like that. There is a belt clip that can go on your belts, and it'll just fit like that. But I find it actually easier and faster just to reel out a pile and then just use it from that pile. So grab the tape, fold it, and okay, so when you fold it, making sure that you're folding, there's 2 sides to the tape. There's the side that the factory crease folds this way, and I don't know if you can see that, but I think most of you would be aware of that already. So just fold it in the direction that the factory crease wants to go. So fold it, put it up to the ceiling, flush up to the ceiling, and then just use your fingers, put it in all the way to the bottom, and come over to the second one, put it up to the ceiling, and down. There, so that's 2 corners, tapes are in. Next, grab the roller. Okay, so start with the roller right in the center of the tape. Don't start at the bottom or the top, because if you do that, when you roll down, you're gonna scrunch the tape up. So you wanna start right in the middle. And when I roll my tapes, I do 2 passes. One is a light pass, and then the second pass is when I really push it in. And the first pass is just to kind of center the tape in, and the second pass is to push it in tight. So here's the first pass. It's just very light. See, I'm not pushing. It's just to guide the tape into place. And then I start in the center again, and I push really hard. And that embeds the tape right hard into the wall, so it's very flat. So I'll come and do that to the second one. Push. Good. Next, grab the Anglehead. And okay, so the important thing with the Anglehead is you can't start right at the bottom or you'll snag the tape. And with a flusher head, you can start right at the bottom. With the Anglehead, you can't. And it's hard to explain without wrecking the tape, but if you were to try this, you'd quickly see what I mean. So start about 1 inch up, and you don't actually need to push very hard with an Anglehead versus the flusher head. That's one of the great things about an Anglehead, is because it flexes into the wall really easily on its own. So it's a lot easier on the body to flush tapes with an Anglehead. Just put it in lightly, hardly have to push at all. And okay, so what I should have done with this Anglehead before I got started was just to get some mud onto it. It's called priming the Anglehead. All right, do it again. All right, and up. Next one. There. Okay, so now I'm going to show you up close of how this looks. Notice how feathered that edge is. There's no edge to it at all. It's just a very clean way of running up the angle tapes. And it's really tight in there too. Okay, so next I'm going to show you the same thing with the top tapes, and then I'm going to quickly show you just the right way of feeding them into the 3-ways and wiping the 3-ways. Alright, so I'll just, same thing as the vertical ones. Put the mud on. And I'm just gonna do this whole room. Okay, out of mud. And this tape, I'll just hook it in there so I can grab it off the silts. Alright, so watch how fast that these tapes can be fed up here. Okay, so when I go to put this tape on there, I want to make sure that there's going to be a little bit of mud there, so I'm not putting a dry spot in between. So what I do is I just quickly go like this on there and then continue on. Okay. Oh. Okay, so that's all the top tapes on the corners. Then just get this roll. So you could do this on the floor or on the stilts. I'm pretty comfortable on the stilts, so I just do it on the stilts, but if you're not comfortable on the stilts, you can get down, you can roll it, then flush it, then hop back up on the stilts or a ladder and clean out your three-ways. But okay, so start in the middle and light pass to that side, light pass to that side, back to the middle, push it in hard. And I'm not going to do this whole ceiling, I'm just keep the video to the point. I'm just going to do this one stretch. If you've seen one corner, you've seen them all. Well, I better do a second one so I can show you the three-way. Okay, so look how nice and clean that is. What I like about the Anglehead and the tube, what I like about doing it this method is because the tube puts so much mud onto the corner, more than the bazooka would put on, more than the super taper, the banjo, or any other method. And why I like that is because all that mud fills the bevel. So this is the factory edge here. So there's a beveled joint right there. It's recessed. And see, look how well it fills it right on that first pass. So when I do my finish coat, it fills in whatever's left. And then when I sand, it's finished, it's painted. I never have to worry about, on a painted finish, having that edge showing, or just the recess. Sometimes under the right lighting, especially if they put wall lights that shoot light upwards, you can see that recess and then you can get people complaining. So this method is really just the best method I found out of all the methods to make the perfect inside corners. And in a future video, or again, maybe if you're watching the future, that video is already there, I'm going to show various methods of finishing the corner. I'm going to show using the tube applicator again and running a 3.5. I'm going to show with the angle box, and I can show with various sizes of flusher heads and angle heads I have every size of angle head, every size of flusher head. So I can show you almost every combination of running angles there could be. Alright, so just clean that up, and sometimes I'll just do that. Further clean it up. And I like to push tapes in really nice and clean on the 3-ways, because if you get it nice and tight on the tape coat, it's much easier to get your 3-ways good later on. And I'm also making videos, or maybe already have those videos, on the best way of finishing 3-ways. These are the 3-ways here. I just call them that, where the 3 tapes run in together. Yeah, and so that's it. So as you can see, it's not slow, and sometimes you'll get a little excess got squeezed out. You can clean it up like that. And yeah, I'm just going to continue on, and it doesn't take very long at all to run the inside corners this way. Okay, so like I said, I got lots of videos coming and planned. So if you found any of this helpful, if you haven't already, you can subscribe so you don't miss out. And thanks for watching.